A weird result on the first map. Obviously, Team Fiend able to pick that one up 16-7 on the forZe map pick. Never really looking in it, did the Russian side. And now we head over to Overpass where we'll wait and see if forZe can bounce back because Fiend, they're looking pretty good. This is now their map pick. They're going to want to try and close this down in 2-7.
Absolutely right, but for to understand how Overpass is going to be panning out here for forZe, obviously wanting to get the reverse win here on the opponent's map pick. Let's see their Overpass history, go through it a little bit, make sure just see what kind of teams they've beaten and lost against on this map so far. So in the month of May, it's only been played once against DPG Family, close fashion loss, 13-16. But then across April, I see that basically, I mean, they go into massive amounts of overtimes and even get the win against Virtus Pro. That's no slouch of a team to be beating. Of course, maybe Virtus Pro were kind of just had to play a lot of games at that time. But either way, still, like, an overtime win's an overtime win. And even if, Virtus Pro, I don't know how they were feeling that day. But then, yeah, just losses against Skate in overtime. Copenhagen Flames lost 16-7. Beating out the likes of Apex. I don't know, man. These teams, they seem to be like somewhere around the level of Fiend. Obviously, losing to Skate in overtime. That's about the closest analog as we're going to get here, right? The Bulgarian scene. Pretty much just like a nice little analog there. But I don't know, man. forZe, you think they're strong enough on Overpass?
Probably not. I'm personally of the sort of mindset now after seeing a sort of first map like that from Fiend that anything other than a win here is going to be so disappointing from them. But maybe forZe can find just a little bit of mojo. They can get something working, just find damage, find rounds, find, I don't know, a close game here.
Well, if we go through the players a little bit, like who was performing and who was not, I regret to inform you they were all negative and killed in KD, so
Yeah.
that's already a bad start. Flit was top fragging as we expected him to do so, but then behind him, basically everyone pretty close to his score line as well, but, Alzamir and Kenzie dropping the ball the most, I suppose, with only 10 kills a pop.
Yeah, I mean, everybody dropped the ball in that first map, really, so it's not just, you can't just say, well, these players didn't perform, nobody did, really.
There were more balls being dropped than... I was going to say there were more balls being dropped in middle school, but, time has passed for that joke.
Yeah, I mean, you could have went with it.
Yeah, it's the nature of online broadcast, Dan. You can't both talk at the same time. No. So it's a hard skill to master.
Yeah, not a ventriloquist dummy, unfortunately.
It is pretty nice to hear all those big talents complaining about that for once, though.
Yeah.
You're used to being next to each other so much. You see, Launders and Scrawny casting in such a manner where they just rap God off of each other, each of them saying like only 3 words each before they throw. Can't afford that, Dan. The latency's too big.
Yeah. Yeah, it is an issue, but it's one we've come to try and deal with. But just in terms of going back to the game, Fiend, obviously Mar had a stellar start to that game, 22-11 for him.
Oh,
Red
yeah.
Star was also popping as well. I mean, he ended up with more frags. He sort of got going in the late stage of the game, 26-11 for him. 111 ADR in total, which is just outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good.
Bubble was a little bit slow.
IGL card.
Yeah, and obviously he likes the double up setup quite a lot. You can't really get that working on Inferno all too often. So maybe on Overpass, we'll see him picking out the double up CT side, getting a bit of confidence in. I've seen plenty of times where Bubble's having a tough game, picks up that up as a secondary, and as a secondary up rather, not a secondary weapon, but and he just ends up like just bringing a bit of life to the party with it. So expect to potentially see that. I'm hoping we get into the 9th round soon.
Yeah, hopefully Won't have to stare at these players playing in warm-up for too long. Though I could watch Mar one-tap fools all day. Still, though, I hear the chat ticking, so we should be going into it soon. And prediction time.
Hmm?
You know, you gotta actually go and pick one here. I think Fiend have this one in the bag 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of alluded to that earlier.
Like we
when
kind
I
of
sort
called it a 2-1 in the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, we kind of counted on them winning overpass here. It's still gonna be a close game, but I think Fiend just might edge it out here.
Yeah, obviously you gotta take note of the previous map as well, where obviously forZe just weren't there. So Team Fiend looking hot to trot, in fact. And as we now do get ourselves into ninth round, we'll be going live very, very shortly with the game. We just got to find out which of these teams is going to start on which sides. And generally, CT side more favoured on overpass. As I say, the graphic pops up and says 55% on T side, but at least for these two teams, they're both much more comfortable with the CT side. Picking up more rounds there.
Interesting matchup then. We'll be keeping that. We'll be keeping tabs on that as the halves progress and one team starts to pop off on one of the sides. We'll see how that shakes out as the ninth round shakes out in the same fashion as before. I believe Team Fiend just taking the knife. Let's see if they can take the pistol as they did in the first. Of course, a pistol each for them. And the chat's ticking. And it's time to start the pistol on overpass. Boys, let's get hyped! Because it's going to be Team Fiend against forZe, Dan, on the pistol round of overpass. I'm on the edge of my seat.
All right. I like it. I like it. I like the hype. I like the energy. Bubble has a kit. A couple flashbangs for him. Dreamer buys himself up a CZ75 and a smoke. While the forZe side, they've got plenty of utility for them as well. P250, I think. Or no P250. With a smoke and a molly for Jerry. Smoke and a couple flashbangs for Zorte. So very heavy utility for both these sides here. So it looks like forZe just want to execute into a B site hit here. That's a long run up for the smoke getting launched there. Nice opening for Hensi. Almas is going to cham in with one as well. And just before you know it, 2 quick kills come through for the side. But the CZ close range on short at least answers back for one. And Red Star with another does put it into a winnable situation, but not for much longer. And it's only Dreamer left. And with a CZ, he's only got 6 bullets remaining.
Yeah, that's going to be the problem with the CZ75, right, on the pistol rounds. You are kind of only good enough for 1 kill before you have to fall on back and reload, and he exchanges it for a Glock. That's never going to run out of bullets, I'll tell you that for free, as he finds the initial kill onto Flit, in a 1 versus 1 situation now. Has to get the quad to get the win. No kit present. And Zorte, in just the most annoying angle imaginable. At this point, I think he starts looking for the kit. If there was one, there you go. No smokes available, of course! But he does get the headshot. There you go, Dreamer. Gets it done. And Team Fiend yet again win the very first pistol round. Off to a great start on their own map pick, Dan.
Oh, if Dreamer's going to be playing like this, it's over. It is over. 4 kills for him in the pistol. And shots like that, get them out. They're done. forZe are done.
Yeah. We can just call it there, guys. LOOT.BET odds, none of that matters anymore. It's the game's over. The Bulgarians have done it again. Congratulations for making it to the semifinals. Of course, that's not going to be how it shakes out here. We still have quite a few rounds of Counter-Strike left, and already a pause, Dan. A technical one, I believe.
I believe so, yeah. One thing that's interesting to note, though, is obviously forZe found those 2 opening picks in the round. So that it was looking really good for them initially. They got themselves the openings in towards the B site. Dreamer did get 1 kill in return from short and just backed away. Red Star went 1 for 1 as well in the site. But yeah, it was basically Dreamer left in a 1 versus 3.
Yep, he gets the initial, and then, just finishes it off with that Glock toward heaven. That shot was just insane. Of course, with the Glock, it's never going to be a guaranteed shot at that range. You do need a little bit of luck going your way, but for luck to even do its thing, the crosshair needs to be on the head of the guy you're trying to shoot, so either way. Very good start. And I hope we can get underway shortly because forZe, they're just itching to leave their spawns, but their Galils here. The bomb plant was, of course, gained. And with that came a nice little money injection for the T side, as they'll be opting for the weaponry instead of the utility. And they're going to be pushing onto one of the sites, I'm sure, without that much. Well, they're going to have to like bait some of the util out of the CTs beforehand. Let's see how they manage to do that. Mar and Bubble on the MP9s. And Victor on the FAMAS to round out Dreamer and Red Star's M4. No ops present just yet, obviously. As we go into the second, mid, only one present. And Red Star is going to be keeping an eye out there toward ramp. Spots out the second and heads back.
Team Fiend. MP9s. Obviously a little bit of a detriment to the full weaponry here for the Fiend side, but still definitely fine damage, and up against the Galils, range will be able to quickly make some mincemeat of them. Mar having a bit of assistance from a couple teammates further back here, but the MP9 close range, teammate's gone. Galil finds a quick shot, but now the MP9, he can only find one. Bubble, he's found one as well over on a different portion of the map. That's at Ring Connector. But the FAMAS in sight needs to start finding shots, and 1 HP remaining for Victor as he takes down Kenzie. Now a 3-on-2 favouring the Fiend side. Looking good for forZe initially with that kill from Jerry. But now slipping away from them. Oh, timing. Oh, what a quick turn from forZe. Victor was only 1 HP, so the headshot doesn't really matter, but it was still clean AF. And now Bubble will be hearing all these steps. forZe, your day is made. 20 seconds on the clock, they need to push in, but Bubble, he's just going to spam through that smoke as they push forward. Kill found, and Dreamer will finish off the second as well. Admirable attempt from forZe with the force buy, but they're left with nothing in return.
At least they managed to get some kills, of course. That one onto Victor, quite important. Only leaving 2 CTs alive, but unfortunately you can't really contest even that kind of a sort of survivability rate. They will just be opting for the Deagles, as only Flit is going to have the luxury of having armor. And never mind, Zorte picks that one up as well. And yeah, the Deegs, they're going to have to push somewhere. It looks like they're sticking together. A push through the Molotov into the playground area will only be good for one player, though, as Red Star tries to deny him getting back up at all and waiting for him to exit the playground area. But meanwhile, well, there's a sneaky terrorist that made his way through the molly there, and he has to take care of that. Knows he's in danger, falls back. And forZe, they've taken control of Playground, but where can they go from here? It looks like Long is next on the list.
These Deagles find like a few kills here, that would be sick, but obviously limited armor, limited sort of opportunities. We'll see what they can find. Having a bit of a mooch out towards Long with a few players. Just under a minute on the clock. 2 players currently positioned. Or actually, is that 3 players currently positioned towards A for Fiend? I'm not sure if the radar's deceiving me a little bit there.
They got 3. They got 3.
Yeah, it looks like it's 1 on site, 2 towards short, and those 2 towards short have been able to deal with Flit. Victor finding that kill, dropping the smoke. They will just back away, and now forZe got to focus most of their efforts towards Long, but the bomb is actually rotating in through the toilets. Let's start. Needs to be ready for this one. Few touchdown shots to bring out, but it's Red Star with 1. Zorte is at least quick on the trade as Red Star ran out of ammo with that, and Mar gets himself a double as they spray through the smoke. He'll even get himself up to the triple. AK recovered as well. Does pop Fiend onto 3. They survive with 3 players alive. That's sort of the minimum you'd want in a round like that if you're Fiend.
Definitely. And with the bomb plant not secured, it is going to be a little bit of a underwhelming round for forZe, but still, they're not going to be kicking themselves too hard about it because they're in the real round now, Dan. They got the AKs out. No ops, of course. No money really there to facilitate that, though. Maybe someone had enough if they forgone all the utility, but they want the util present, as Red Star is going to be peeking with the AWP down middle and not spotting out those 2 players that have just crossed into Playground. They might just give him A little bit of a scare as he has to make his way back, but reaggresses toward Birthday. Now he's exposed, makes his way into toilets fast, but Victor dies trying to cover his escape as the AWP is worth more than the M4 in that situation. But one of them falling is going to be pretty bad for the CT side, especially since they just lost Red Star. Rotating fast as he could want into the site, loses his life immediately. And that's quite a round here for forZe. They just basically bully their way onto the A-bomb site, catching out the CTs, unprepared and overextended. And that's going to be the bomb, they just have been punched in. It's going to be exploding in about 40 seconds. And the CTs are going to try and survive, but Jerry's here to try and prevent that. Try being the operating word.
That's an AK actually recovered as well. A bit of an upgrade for those M4s, but look at Kenzie's position. They push further. He's got their number. Bubble might be a dead man. I think he probably is a dead man here. Nice kill found. Kenzie can't find the trade. As Dreamer actually keeps himself alive by finding a second kill as well. Again, upgrading onto the AK off that M4, but Team Fiend keeping 2 players alive here. Making sure that forZe only keep 2 players alive themselves. Will be nice. It keeps the forZe economy in check. Not going to allow them to extend up too much cash after this one round. Obviously, having to rebuy down 3 guns is a considerable investment. So if Fiend win out the next round, forZe probably back onto just a minimal buy. A few deagles, maybe a bit of a force buy, but it would certainly be much easier than if forZe had kept 4 players alive. Obviously.
So let's see what Team Fiend can do on this one with Victor on the deagle. Zorta, of course, on the AWP, and we'll be seeing how this B aggression turns out for them. It's going to be just a Flit solo, pushing on out, and, well, not getting any kind of kill. Instead, Dreamer finds a double onto him and Zorte.
Dreamer's on one this game.
Yeah, as is Mar. Like, both of them have started to pop off, and they're not even some of the players that were sort of exposing in the beginning of the games as players to watch out for, because any one of them can really pop off, like Mar, Bubble, and Dreamer. They just, yeah. I mean, Victor, I suppose he's the one that just doesn't have those performances unless I'm forgetting them.
He's very up and down. Generally sort of at the lower end, but sometimes he does have these big highlight performances, but they come sort of sparsely.
He's a flamey then, okay.
Yeah, and well, Dreamer is already 9-0 in this game, so there's that.
Yeah, and in the previous one, forZe get 2 nice entries and just stomp on onto that A bomb site, but this time 2 opening kills go the way of Fiend in the beginning, and well, no stomp was followed up. Just no push into the B bomb site whatsoever, as they're going to be re-aggressing now. Through Monster, though, Dreamer on 9 HP, very exposed position, has to go aggressive, and he does. Finds a kill. And even all his T's back up from short dies immediately, with Bubble picking up the final kill. Team Fiend on the 4th, and forZe without that much money left into this one. It is going to be just deagles, probably. Kenzie with a little bit of extra scratch to perhaps afford it for his teammates. But maybe they just opt for the full Glock Eco and see what happens. No, deagles coming out. Would like to see more Tech 9s bought up in these kinds of situations, Dan. Yeah. Would like to see some T's just hold down W and get these over with quick.
Should buy dual Berettas then. Save yourself $100.
There you go.
And you get double the gun.
You gotta go tuck, 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 tuck. Although the fire rate of the Tech 9 is certainly like really high.
About the only limit is how fast you can. It's always going to be better.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Because if you were firing 2 deagles, you couldn't shoot those fast, would you? You could spray them up close, but your wrist would be broken. Ooh! Jerry breaks his head, and then another one. It's going to be a set of entries, but not enough to win, maybe. Though it is a 2 versus 2 now, all down to Bubble. If he would have fallen there at stairs, the round would have been most certainly over. But Dreamer now has joined the fray. And the push onto A, well, it's been concluded, but the bomb not yet planted. It's still coming in from long, with a player on Optimus just going to be trying to hide as, well, he gets out of cover and Bubble gets the kill. Now it's down to Kenzie at 1 versus 2, as he does know he can plant, but doesn't want to be going for it just yet. He wants to win. And the plant would only get him the extra money bonus, but I'm afraid, like Icarus, he flew too close to the sun, Dan. And he's fallen to the ground now.
5 on the board. Showing all the shades of Inferno already, but remember, both of these teams pretty strong on the CT sides compared to their T side. So, Fiend, you want to be getting this lead. You want even if it's like a 9-6, 10-5, I still think forZe could bounce back in the second half. I think 5 or 6 rounds on the T side here against Fiend would be enough. It just depends whether they can get to that scoreline. Because right now, just stuck on 1. Team Fiend with the guns out, looking pretty strong. However, making a couple mistakes against these low buys, giving forZe chances. And also restricting their own economy from growing. That's a nice pick, though. Red Star has found Almazar in connector, gotten them the advantage, clean as you like, and gotten away scot-free.
And now what do they do? The aggression from long is going to be continuing, it seems, with the jump spots not really happening here. Ooh, a triple boost. Let's go. Well, 3-man boost, let's put it that way. And, well, they sort of take a little bit longer than you would like to set it up, but I think they're going to be giving up on it. They never actually got the peak.
It was a little awkward.
Oh, no, second try. Second time's a charm. Let's go. Can you stand up this time?
Well, they've been spotted.
They got the kill.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Red Star
was
gets
the plan
another
the
one,
whole
though,
time.
in return.
And now this attack on the A site has been so thoroughly telegraphed, they can't actually push on in. But with 30 seconds left, what else can they do, Dan? B bomb site is just too far away, and well, shooting into that smoke's like shooting fish in a barrel. T's have just no chance of escaping it, and they're gonna have to jump back on the old offline server there and try that boost in a few times.
A few times. Does that mean 6 times?
I'm gonna just say yes.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I do know about though. I may not be the greatest with maths, but even I know that daily quests over at LOOT.BET, great deal.
Absolutely. Who can argue with sign-up bonuses as well? I mean, that's just free money. Asterisk, not free money. You do have to like sort of bet it, of course.
Yeah.
But then once you get it through one bet, you can withdraw it, and it's free money.
Yeah. But daily quests, you can complete them over at LOOT.BET and get yourself some nice tidy rewards just to get even more from your bettings. Go back into the action.
Be 18. Yeah. Bet responsibly.
Of course.
And don't blame us for losing.
Don't blame Castroni, please.
Like, there's always going to be one winner, guys.
Yeah.
Can't make everyone happy. I tried.
That's why Blast was good, because you could have people draw tie games.
Oh, there you go.
There was no winners in some cases.
Yeah, no one won in those early Blast days, did they? No. Certainly gotten better as a tournament organizer as things went on, though, so good on them. And good on forZe for finding the opening kill onto A, as the A push should be continuing here, but the smokes are kind of keeping them at bay for now. Victor re-aggresses onto Banana, finds the kill. It's going to be a trade, technically, since Flit found a kill of his own. A 3 versus 4 scenario now. Not sure why they don't pivot toward B. They have like a minute left on the clock. Some extra map control would definitely come in handy at this moment, as you don't want to walk into a bomb site with potentially 3 players stacked on it. But they're going to be delaying just long enough for the CTs to panic a little bit, and there's going to be 2 on B now, with the Ts seemingly heading back toward B themselves. They may have just played themselves, Dan.
Yeah, like a fiddle. Don't actually know what a fiddle is, but
a violin.
Oh, okay. Why not violin then? Why not just say play them like a violin?
They just like, you know,
fiddle sounds funnier, I guess.
Exactly.
But you know what else sounds funnier? Running towards B site with 15 seconds on the clock and 2 players already in defense for the CT side, Team Fiend. They need to just find a couple kills here, but a nice shot from Jerry opens things up. It's an even removing Dreamer's head. Oh! Jerry! Jerry made me scream. Oh,
He makes me do all kinds of other noises. Jerry, come on, man. This isn't the cartoon mouse I was expecting on the server today. This is a full-on feral rat pushing onto the site, getting 3 entries. Well, the last one was not really an entry. At that point, it was an afterplant, but come on, man.
sure.
Back-to-back kills, and with like 15 seconds left on the clock, if he doesn't do it, right, the bomb planter just might get wide swung and killed. So definitely a high-pressure situation that he managed to perform under.
I'm sure Jerry will love the fact that you just called him a rat.
I called him a cartoon mouse at the beginning. That's kind of
Yeah.
where it begins. And you know, what's the more aggressive version of a cartoon mouse?
A real
Smooya.
mouse.
Just kidding.
I'm out
Moving
of here.
swiftly on.
I'm out of here.
You're
Get me out.
he does not support any of this messaging endpoint social media manager. If you're watching,
Why would
he's
Endpoint
still your
care?
boy. I don't know. The social media manager watches the games with endpoint in it,
Yeah,
admittedly, but
obviously.
you know, just in case if he's here, if he's got the stream open accidentally, wanted to
Right.
give him a little message.
Reasonable. Nice flashbang
Ooh.
peek from Zorte. Does take down Red Star. Good opening kill found. Team Fiend. They may have 6 rounds already, but looks like forZe are going to be on to a third with a couple nice rounds coming through from them.
Ooh. The entries just continue. Jerry's on one right now because he already had a good game starting out on Inferno, didn't he?
Yeah.
Second top fragger for forZe. Not exactly a good situation for him still, but you know, shows that the IGLs can top the scoreboards as well, as the push onto A is going to continue here with such a massive man advantage. It's going to be down to Victor and Dreamer to hold them back, and lucky for them, they're both sort of near sight, you know, at the sort of entrances where you would expect them to be, stairs and bank. Victor just might get the advantage here if he wide swings, but he waits for another kill, and he's going to be rewarded. A 2 versus 3
Whoa.
now, almost damaging that last player, but instead of a 2 versus 2, we're now seeing a 1 versus 3, and that unfortunately means it's time for Dreamer to take some Jame time down on B. And forZe pick up a third.
Yeah.
Definitely not as bad of a start as Inferno was, right? It is, especially on Overpass. It is more CT-sided than Inferno, I would say.
Especially with these two teams, yeah.
So every T round really counts. And I would say that they would be happy if they managed to get themselves on 6. A 9-6 half wouldn't be that bad in their eyes, I think. 10-5, you're starting to get sketchy, though.
Oh, Team Fiend obviously have Dreamer save that M4. The rest of them just with pistols. They have one Deagle, a couple just USPs, so for sure it should be forZe finding a fourth and making something good out of this first half. And Dreamer's been taken down almost immediately. They do recover the rifle, that's Victor, but with no armor. Might be a bit of a sitting duck there. Does get one, trading his teammates, but only Red Star alive. He can't even get away. He's gunned down, trying to escape. Team Fiend found a couple kills and around like that. That's not bad. Obviously, forZe are sort of walking into the stack there. Or running into the stack, I should say, on that B site. But yeah, 2 kills found. Probably as much as you can expect.
Would love to see more from a stack, though, but
Yeah.
still not going to be the most heartbreaking of rounds for them right now, as 6-4 is certainly starting to look good here for the Russian side. And the Bulgarians are hoping to get themselves into a commanding lead. Their CT side, of course, superior. Let's see if they can keep it doing it here. Of course, the nade stack toward a non-existent boost. Always love to see it, even though it doesn't work out a lot of the time. As that will be everything they wanted to accomplish, really, with that behind B setup. They're just going to be flashing themselves out middle now with no players watching, just some presence toward long. He might just keep pushing on here. And eventually just flashing Zorte out onto long so he can peek toward tree and rock and all of that other jazz. And it looks like he's getting ready for it. But Red Star, is he ready to accept the terrorists into his life via the scope?
It's a cheeky angle. The
Very.
pole might block a shot, but he actually swings out a little bit further right, gets the opening kill, and just backs away. Gonna get caught trying to cross away. No, Flit not able to find the shots before Red Star guns him down with the AWP.
That was the
Second
setup,
kill.
though. They were hoping for Flit to get him as he exits long, and that's another setup they had going for them here. A flash toward Banana. Mazier just with a double, casually as you like. Makes this an even Steven number of players here again, as 3 versus 3 is certainly far more doable than in 5 versus 3. A push on to B now continues, and, well, there's only one here to receive them. It is going to be just a lone player toward Graffiti, as the bomb certainly will get planted, but Almazer has to start looking at the back now before his barrel gives him away, and there you go, bubble down. And only Dreamer and Mar left to go, but they're no slouches. They already find the entry, and the march continues, but Kenzie stops them. AWP behind Pillar, that's going to be a double for him, and forZe pick up a 5th. What a comeback from this devastating beginning where 2 kills just go Red Star's way.
Yeah,
Then, you know,
well, 5 on the
skill.
board. 5 on the board for forZe. That is probably enough already in this T half. Anything extra here is just going to be a little bit of creaming on the top of these forZe players. As well, they're probably going to find a 6th here. Just Deagles, P250, a couple sets of armor for Fiend. Nothing really to shout about. Nothing really to even be sort of thinking. Well,
you can
things
shout
go
about
right.
it if you want.
Maybe if they make me shout about it, give me something to shout about.
Deagles!
There you go, I shouted about it.
That is a reasonable thing to do. But maybe the plays with the Deagles can make me shout.
Yeah, that'll make a lot more sense. For Deagle, by nothing special, of course. Been in the meta for a while now. Usually you see a scout to round these out, but that's more in the second round where the force happens from the CT side. And, well, the push is going to go toward A, and there's only 2 players here to hold on to it, as the Deegs certainly have to make us start shouting at some point. It's going to be instead the P250 that finds a kill, but Dreamer, he's going to be finding one of his own, and the second even goes his way. With a 2 versus 3 setup now, it's going to be a tough spot for the terrorist side. Still, though, the advantage firmly in their place. Those Deagles, they can't pick up any rifles, and that's going to be costing them their lives there. Red Star, he was in the open at Bank, but Bar on the flank doesn't get anything done. Just Victor left at 1 versus 2.
He's been heard. Jerry heard those steps for sure. He knows where at least one of these players is. I think he knows where both of them are because of the reload. Nice shot from Victor. Now just Zorte alone, 1 versus 1, but he has the AWP, has a Deagle, and he has the full HP, and it's a Deagle that will close it down for forZe. A difficult round there, 4 kills found, but they get away with it in the end, and they tie up the scoreline 6-6. Team Fiend, they need to start now closing down these last few rounds, make sure they come away with a lead in the first half to really give them the chance in this game, because if forZe start or get themselves an 8-7 lead here, things are going to be very difficult for Fiend on that second half of here.
So yeah, Team Fiend with some must-find rounds here to round out the half. They would love to see a 9-6 at this point, as forZe have already fulfilled that mission statement. But they find the initial frag. Now, Team Fiend, that's a good start, but long presence given away as those players in toilets, they have to start making their way back, knowing that long is exposed, hearing those flashes popping off. They are very curious. They want to take a peek toward long, see what's going on. They're not going to be seeing anything yet, just some grenades flying in their general direction, and Kenzie on the jump. Not going to be advisable, I'm afraid. Falls immediately. That's 2 players down for forZe. Team Fiend may have just found the antidote to forZe's aggression.
Well, Red Star's
Get
found
the entry.
double openings already for this Team Fiend side, and then they've wasted away the opportunity.
But that was because there were still players aggressive on toilets, and this time they're all the way back in sight. So they're waiting for, as you can see, forZe immediately re-aggresses toward toilets. But this time they find no kills because there's no one there. You can only beat what's in front of you. And the push toward A is going to be continuing, it seems, toward the stack, no less.
Almazer on the up. Can he find an opening? No. Victor will remove him. Flit at least gets the trade, but there's just so many players ready to receive these Russians in with waiting arms. And unfortunately, timing is not going to allow forZe to retreat. But Jerry! Oh, Jerry! That is sensational. 2 very quick kills. Dreamer will eventually put a stop to that nonsense, but it's put Flit in a winnable situation. 3 HP, a 1v1, and Bubble, the last man to try and find and Flit. He's just going to back away, take position out towards long, but I think Bubble, even while Flashbang just holds Mouse 1, and that is going to be the round for Fiend. It comes at a great cost. As Bubble, yeah, he'll get the defuse.
Love how he
through.
just... Yeah, he gets the kills very nicely there. Like the flash at the end should have just kept running, I'm afraid. Would have been a very nice situation. But these entries from Jerry, they just give him the opportunity to make this a 1 versus 1. Was sort of worried about him for a little while, hiding behind those yellow boxes. Once he makes it out to long, I think, okay, now he can make his way toward toilets, make this a very interesting afterplant. But he decides to aggress as well. And then at the end, Bubble, he stands victoriously on top of those yellow boxes. As if to say, look at me, I did the clutch. Gets it done. Props to him. And Team Fiend, they find a much-needed 7th. As forZe go into this next one, the 14th round. 2 more left in this half. Let's see what they can do.
The
Not
economy
that
as
much
well.
money left in... Yeah, not that much money left in reserve for either of these teams. So a very pivotal round here in terms of this map. Whoever wins this one will be having the advantage in the next half for sure.
Fiend, they've had to make a couple of concessions in this round as well. Obviously, you've got Dreamer and Victor on FAMASes. You've still got Red Star on the up. The man has been finding so many advantages so far. Fiend going over towards the B site. Flit, you go 1 for 1. Dreamer does trade him out. Jerry looking for something himself. Nice shot found. Brings it back into the advantage for the Russian side. But again, Dreamer is there for the trade. 2 kills for him. 3-on-3 ensues. And just under 40 seconds on the clock. Red Star's having a little bit of a mooch towards the toilets, and does he find the player coming out of the connector? Ooh. Oh, the timing. Oh, the timing just doesn't work out for Red Star. Kenzie is able to take him down. They've already got the A site. Almazer is already here. Are they going to expect this?
Nope.
Victor certainly does not. And it's just Dreamer alone. 1 versus 3. forZe are going to tie up this game yet again.
Not to mention the final round of this half, right? Because it's coming up, and Team Fiend, they're not ready for it. Their money certainly has been spent. Their credit rating not looking too good at the moment. They're just going to have to make do with what they can get, as well as this AK on the back of Dreamer. Wonder if he's going to continue to take this one going forward, or if he's going to be dropping it to someone else. But who can he really drop it to, Dan? Who's having a good performance right now?
Dreamer.
Yeah, no, 22 kills, 5 deaths. That's gonna be Dreamer. I think the math checks out on that one. Red Star, the one behind him with 9 kills, but he's the opper. Victor on 7, on 9. The rest equally as underwhelming. As well, I think Jerry should have it. he's been having a really good game so far. 15 kills for him on the T side. Flit not far behind, though, as we go into the very final round here of this half. 7-7 being the scoreline, but Team Fiend not looking too good in terms of money. As now, very quick B-short aggression, hoping for counter-aggression to come out of the terrorist side as a smoke goes down in connector, and usually this would signal some kind of a boost going on toward the stairs there. Certainly will be coming through, but no terrorists on the other side unless they make their way down connector, though I doubt it. They're still looking for that short position as Almazer, he's going to get caught out, won't he? There you go. Initial kill goes down for the CTs, but the bomb has been down, and Victor with an extra kill of his own doesn't actually manage to pick up 2. It's a 3 versus 3 after Flit also gets a kill. Jerry helping out, but yeah, with 3v3 with such a deep position from Jerry already, this is a free kill onto Red Star. And even if it gets traded, well, a 2v2 with the bomb planted in default, both players sort of so far away here in toilets that they can spray down any would-be diffusers at a moment's notice. I think Team Fiend just may have met their match here for this half.
Yeah, Zorte. He's got such a great position with that orb. Obviously, he has his teammate with him. The timer ticking down, 10 seconds on the clock. He needs to get the kill. They have found the frag on towards Flit, but Dreamer, inside the smoke, needs to try and find the bomb. I'm not sure if he had it in time. No, he didn't. He couldn't find it inside the smoke. Oh, what a horrible way to lose the final round. He just couldn't. Oh, the pain. The pain.
These guys are in Spain, but without the S. As the Russians will be taking the lead here in this half. A couple of bomb explosions here in the final rounds will be netting them this one as Jerry's continuing his mare that he's been on. And hopefully Dreamer can continue his absolutely fantastic performance on the Fiend side. But yeah, definitely more than they bargained here for. Certainly looking good on the sort of scenario that we were talking about, that both teams sort of win the opponent's map picks. And after like an underwhelming first map there on Inferno, Fiend not looking as hot, especially on the more favored CT side. But let's see what they have prepared for us here on T. Certainly will be interesting to see if, you know, forZe can hold them back.
Yeah, I think if Fiend had been able to pick up that final round there, if they just got on the fuse slightly quicker, might have been. It would have been a more realistic game. I mean, I still think obviously 8-7, whichever way you swing it, it's pretty even. The only issue is for Fiend is that both of these teams perform better on the CT sides of Overpass. Whether or not they can book that trend now and get themselves some good T rounds coming through. Pistol round obviously going to massively help them out, but obviously they won the pistol round in the first half as well. That gave them a few extra rounds on top. That sort of bolstered this scoreline for them. So in terms of gun rounds, forZe are really the ones running away with the majority of them in that first half. And they've turned up a lot more since Inferno, that's for sure.
Well, Dreamer is leading most kills. It's nice to see Red Star at least having that early impact, I suppose. That's what the AWP is there for, especially on Overpass, right?
For sure.
All those angles you can take. As we go into the pistol round here, Team Fiend, they got Bubble on utility, and they're heading toward B, where the CTs currently are also located, but B short seems to have been where they pushed, leaving a completely exposed second letter of the alphabet there. And they're not spawning out anyone toward Monster, even though there's a triplet of players just ready to explode. As Connector has been taken, but what good is that if you don't have the B bomb site? Still, though, they're taking their sweet old time here, Team Fiend. Not pushing in just yet. And I guess it's a B retake setup, but all the CTs are going to be retaking from short B. That's a very sort of small amount of space they gave themselves to work with. And they even have a flank and connector. Oh, man. Oh, the CTs take care of the flank, though. So now they just have to aggress, and the initial aggression works out swimmingly. 2 kills as Bubble tries to answer back, but it gets collapsed in return. Only 2 terrorists left alive, and well, the site capitulates as it's just Red Star who is in the deep CT position, waiting for those rotations to come from elsewhere. As forZe just take the bomb site like they were terrorists, and even defuse the bomb instead of planting it in the end. Flit swings wide, but the round was won due to the defuse. And here we are with forZe, after a really good start on their first half, just winning the pistol in the next. And it looks like it's going to be a victory for them if things continue the way they've been looking.
Looking good. 9 on the board. Just got to deal with this force buy from Fiend, and you're home free for a few rounds here. Good start. Taking a lot of damage early on. Just 6 HP remains for him. We'll avoid that grenade, though. That's good. So he didn't get taken down by that. Still 5 on 5. That scout can still find some long-range damage. Gonna be up to the Galils, though, to try and push in close. They've got Dreamer just on the Deagle. They're just gonna shift walk up Banana.
Interesting approach, and they're seeing just no resistance whatsoever, even from sight. No one's really peeking them, jump spotting them, nothing. That's a one person on the A bomb site. As forZe, they're just going for a bit of a similar setup as they went on B last round, where they're going to go for the retake, giving up the initial kill as all the kills are now coming in for the T's.
Ooh.
2 of them, in fact. No answers back as Bubble picks up a triple after the bomb's been planted, and that's just going to be the save call coming in for forZe. They were expecting the long presence to do a lot more there than just die without a single answer. And Team Fiend, they pick up a round. Unexpected, but, you know, very much welcome.
Force Fire works out wonderfully. They've even got Mar quite deep here, ready to catch someone if they push a little bit further in. We'll just keep Kenzie further back with that Org, the more important weapon to save. Obviously, the MP9 can be useful as well. But Team Fiend, 5 players alive. Bubble, you say that 3K? Love to see it. 8 on the board. They fight back and they keep it just at a 1-round disadvantage. Where they now should be able to find a tie game, because that Orc for Kenzie, the MP9 for Jerry, all are really going to have alongside some Deagles.
This should definitely be a 9th tier for the Bulgarians, but let's see how they'll be taking this T round and how the CTs are going to be stacking, because it looks like quite a lot of presence toward B. Never mind, leaving 1 player toward A, I think. No, that's going to be Heaven. As it's the pistol round setup, kind of, where you leave 1 toward A just to spot out for aggression and call if there's anyone there. So they're kind of banking on this being a B execute in the end, but already seeing that that's not the case, we'll be rotating back, I think. Either way, Team Fiend's taking it slowly, so if they respond immediately or not, doesn't matter. The push continues, and even more and more real estate is taken by the terrorist side.
And the door going out short. Team Fiend going to be starting just to winch a bit more map control into their favour, but where do they decide to go? It looks like they might be looking towards that A side of the map, as the player from B is going to rotate back around and pick up that bomb. But look at the presence, the MP9 pushing deep over by Long. Red Star is watching for it. I don't know if he just spotted the leg, but his teammate close by certainly heard all the steps, and with a flashbang peek. Oh, it's awkward. It's a little bit awkward, but Mar gets it in the end. Jerry was so blind, there wasn't really much he could do from that position. Player spotted in the site, they're just going to try and run over Almazur, and they will. 2 kills found. Fiend now in a 5-on-3, just going to get that bomb planted towards A and lock this round down from here.
Yeah, forZe is going to be going for the Jame time, of course. Saving that armor, the Deagle is not really that important. Actually, no, going into the next, they're not going to be investing, so definitely going to be sticking to those Deagles. And hey, Kenzie can even drop one of them to one of his teammates. And that's only 1 weapon you have to buy up, so plenty of money going to be saved in the next, with some nice weaponry and utility going to be present shortly. So forZe are going to have some time to at least do some economic damage to the Bulgarian side, but they really haven't sustained any of it in this one. 5 players still alive, and it looks like that's going to be continuing, with the odds still favoring forZe, of course. But expect a few more rounds to go the way of the Bulgarians here. And there you go. 3 Deagles spread around, just Almazur without a weapon, and 2K in his bank. Not going to be enough for a buy, I'm afraid. Could just invest into a P250. So much better than the USP in those matches against, rounds against armored opponents. But Team Fiend's economy, it's running away right now. 7K on 2 players, and, well, they're about to buy utility, so let's call it 6K. But we are having a bit of a technical pause right now.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully we'll be getting back into things very shortly. Obviously, Kenzie's having that org still. Nice weapon to carry into the next round, but is it going to be enough for a victory here? Probably not, unless you can get those Deagles picking up a couple kills as well, just to maybe have something snowball for yourself. Then there's potential. But right now, forZe sort of living on a worst case scenario right now, where they've won out the pistol, lost the following, and now Team Fiend looking to take the lead in this second half once again. After forZe managed to get themselves that lead right at the sort of last stages of the first half.
Victor on 69 ADR.
Nice.
Nice.
Indeed, very nice.
Not really much left to analyze here, of course. Match
Yeah.
paused, and we're just kind of like waiting with bated breath as this is certainly a close one. I can see it going 2-0, but I can also see forZe taking this one back because that's the more likely scenario going forward here. Just definitely one more round given away, though. And then what happens after 10-9? Well, that's left up to God to decide. Let's see how it goes, though. Finally out of it. And the terrorists won't be aggressing toward the B bomb site, at least initially. Toward A is where they'll be going. And the CT's stacking connector.
Zorg, if you can find the kill, would be good. That's a nice opening, but instantly traded. That's exactly what Fiend needed to do. They'll be okay going 1-for-1 there. That's the big weapon out the round. That's forZe are now just left with pistols, so sure. What Fiend wanted. Obviously, it would have been nice if they could remove it without taking any casualties, but they'll certainly be fine with going 1-for-1 in that.
They certainly just have enough money already, right?
Yeah.
They kind of already won the economic game. If they let it slip a little bit, it's not going to be too hard to swallow. But it's also not going to be too hard to take the B bomb site with no CT presence on it. That's usually how it works, last time I checked. And Mar even has the angle onto all of those CTs that are going to be emerging toward the squeaky door as the rotations will be cut off. Yeah, he might get caught out here, but I can see him taking at least 2 kills down with him, because the first one's a surprise, the second one's a gimme, and then Zorte comes in with the Deagle. And it's going to be Flit on the bomb site all alone. Deagle not strong enough, unfortunately. Dreamer does take care of him. And Zorte's the last man alive. Just going to be saving the Deag and the armor. Jam time in full effect. Of course, still available.
Or there's the Org out towards long as well, he could recover. I think it was just a Galil that's dropped over in Park. I don't know if you'd want that, but yeah, a few choices of weapons for him to save in this next round. Obviously, they get the full buy through, so they have the guns regardless. But doing this, it allows you the armor. You don't have to buy up that. You don't need head armor against the TT side. But obviously, we can see Team Fiend. They have 2 M4s and an Org salvaged from prior rounds.
Technically, you wouldn't quite need the helmet at that point.
Yeah. But either way, it's still a rifle you don't have to buy up alongside a Molotov. So. And it gives Zorte as well a Deagle as a secondary with that AWP. So
always
all kinds of bonuses.
Man. You'd think they were using like code loot or code Manila with bonuses like that, damn. Exclamation mark loot or Manila in chat. So yeah, the 20th round in full effect here, as the T's will be sprinting toward the B bomb site initially and taking this short B control, and 3 CTs still waiting on B, using up their utility. But
it was me spitting the lyrical bars yesterday. Now you're stepping up to the task.
There you go. Been listening to some mumble rap on the down low.
Oh yeah.
Not too fond of it still, but you know, trying to get into it, trying to see some good examples. Astronaut in the ocean's not half bad.
I do enjoy a bit of Astronaut in the Ocean. I've been listening to actually a bit of a mashup, a bit of a remix of that.
Oh, really?
Aired up with I Got a Feeling by Black Eyed Peas. It actually works very well.
Love it.
Yeah, it's
Neil
pretty good.
Cicerega is always good for those mashups. They're usually more comedic in nature, though.
Well, you know, one thing that isn't comedic in nature, Sermon, this round, unless
Nope.
something comedic does happen. Doubt it, because right now it's 5-on-5. Team Fiend looking to set up some utility in towards this B site. They've only got 2 plays on defense right now, forZe. But the utility is going to hold back these monster plays. Kenzie is forced forward by the Molotov. He takes a lot of damage, but he still finds the kill and gets away alive. 25 seconds. What the Fiend do here? Is there really any options? They need to go fast. Utility, whatever they have left, needs to get used here. Nice kill from Bubble, or from Red Star rather, on the AWP. But it's just all the CTs finding the needed kills. Red Star and Bubble, the last 2 alive. Can they get this bomb planted? That's the real question here. There's just so little opportunity with a player still round the back of the site who's going to be jumping over, looking to deny them, and they just can't get the plant down in time, despite the kills coming through. How's Red Star found that one? Matters little apart from economic damage onto forZe.
Further economic damage done to the T's now that, you know, he was left alive just saving the weapon. It is still going to be worth a lot more to save the AWP than dying with no money reward. But still, though, great plays out of them, and unfortunately not able to get the bomb down in the end, as you said. forZe equalized the situation. Unexpected, but very much welcome. And we go into the 21st round here with Team Fiend going to be aggressing towards shorts this time, and forZe ready for a B push. It's not going to be happening, though. Stacked up 4 players and everything. And Team Fiend really not sort of pressing the issue with the short B control. You usually want to have at least a lurker toward Monster, or have some kind of control towards short B. If you control that part of the map, you control the entire map in some cases. Now Zamir controls toilets. He's not going to let the terrorist get that. Gets the kill on the Bubble, but, well, gets taken care of swiftly after. 4 versus 4 now, as they aggress into the site, expecting it to be a little bit emptier than it is. 2 players still waiting for them, and Zorte gets the initial frag, with him relocating to a bit more of a secluded angle as the the grenades keep raining in. And the kills just keep on coming here for forZe. Only 2 Bulgarians left on the server. And they may be able to get the bomb down if the smokes are strong enough, but the flank is just too fast. Flit and Kenzie get us done here, and forZe get the 11th. Team Fiend, however, plenty of money left to reinvest into this one, but after this, it's going to be quite dicey. And forZe just might continue their reign of superiority here on the CT side. 2 rounds for them so far, not counting the pistol on this second half. That's 2 in a row. And let's see how many they can string together here.
Yeah, and forZe still only got that FAMAS for Kenzie, the MP9 for Jerry. It's not much to work with in terms of a rebuy for both these teams. So, a crucial round coming through here in Team Fiend. If they really want to make something of this second half of Overpass and really have a chance at this 2-0 over the forZe side and book their spot in the semi-final, he's going to need something now. And Victor, good kill, takes down Almazer, gives that opening, and a player out long as well. Zorte, caught out by Red Star, just tapping away with that AK-47, finds the shot. And Fiend, this nade might just finish off the player over by Truck. That is Victor getting nailed by Shrapnel. Flit trying to hold the line as best he can, but he's just so overwhelmed by players pushing in. It's him and 2 teammates. They're just going to have to save this. 3 on 4. Bomb planted. Smoke's locking them out. Yeah, they'll go for the save. They know what these weapons are worth right now.
Man. An underwhelming continuation of the win streak here for the Russians, as the Bulgarians just get back into the driver's seat of this one, and will be surviving with so many players now. With their economy having been depleted, it looks like it's going to be seeing another booning period here 4 players left alive. Meanwhile, forZe, well, they do save with 3. And that's going to be enough to secure them a bye. And the next, it's going to be a very broken bye should they decide to go for it. But I think in this situation, teams, and, let's be honest, especially Russian teams, do tend to go for it, Dan. I think it's quite likely.
Yeah.
And there you go. The scout on Zorte, though, could have gone with any number of weapons. Decides to go for the weaker sniper rifle. And no utility, strangely enough. Is he saving up for an op? The discipline.
Do like to see it. If the scout can still find damage. That nade certainly has found damage.
Oh, yeah.
3 players tagged down very heavily. That's about 100 damage across the 3 of them there. Do love to see it. A worthwhile investment of those $300. This would be a very short run in the tournament, though, for forZe if they get knocked out like this. 2-0 by Fiend, because this would be the only best of 3 they play. They got invited into the quarterfinals.
But hey, Team Fiend, they were here.
Yeah.
They had to grind to get to their status.
Yeah.
And if they are the ones that get to continue on, well,
Deserved.
that is the way the cookie crumbles, and they definitely will have deserved to be there, of course. But let's see how this one shakes out still. 11-11, anyone's game at the moment. A very pivotal round going forward, though, as this A-take is off to a great start for the Bulgarians. A double entry! Victor and Bubble get it done. Still, Almazir left in the after-plat position toward long, quite strong, and if he manages to find 2 kills, the FAMAS certainly could be good for it. Low HP players all over the place. Ooh, finds the first. Won't be good enough for the second, but now that his presence has given a little bit of area for Jerry to work with, not going to be enough, I'm afraid, because that smoke is holding him back, and they're running out of time. 20 seconds left. A kill transpires, but Almazir still with 2 to find. And that's
Nice
1
shot.
down. 14 seconds left. Has to find the second. Running out of bullets in his FAMAS. And running out of time. 5 seconds left on the bomb. No chance. Gets the kill, though. So at least the economy, So at least the economy of both sides is being pressured heavily right now. Almazir, even though he gets 4 in that one, not enough to win it out.
And Fiend retake the lead in this game. 12-11. The forZe side are finally going to accept that the economy is not there for them, and it's going to have to be the pistols in this one. So Fiend surely finding 13, bar some miracle from this forZe side. No safe weapons to work with.
Like, the only thing they have going for them here is the B stack, and that's exactly what the terrorists are going. But they're going there with all of their resources, all their manpower. And Jerry and Kenzie, well, they tried to go aggressive here toward Monster. The flash was helping them out, but the kills just didn't happen, as it's only Zorte left. And he's going to be on the flanking position as well. With the Deagle, he'll be lucky if he can find a few kills, but the round is definitely in the hands of the Bulgarians now. With the 13th in their back pocket, though, 2 rounds going to be required to get this into, match point territory. And who knows what happens afterwards. forZe, so far, just 2 full buy rounds, 1 on their half. The CT half, not the best.
Yeah, still early days though. We'll see if they can find something here, because obviously they've got the full guns through now. Zorte with the AWP 4 and 4s alongside it. Plenty of A1Ss, in fact, on that forZe side. And because of that, they're actually able to get a bit of extra utility through, an extra couple flashbangs in there, but an extra smoke as well to help with the meager utility that they have for their name. They have a few smokes, a few flashbangs, that's really it. A couple HEs and a molly, or an incendiary rather, on the CT side. So certainly for the forZe side, they need to find the kills. They need to get the advantage in their favor, because they're not going to be able to win this one out with a utility game. Just
making their way. Looks like the bomb is going to be heading toward B, but this long presence is here just to distract the CTs, maybe force an over-rotation. They have no impetus to do so, of course. With deep toilet control, they can just sort of wait for the bomb to get planted 100%, and these two players on long just may be wasted pieces for the Bulgarian side. But the execute does come in. A couple of smokes, some flashes, and a Molotov certainly will be signaling that this is an A take, but the B players aren't budging. Standing there like statues as Almazir goes for the aggressive angle, and well, doesn't expect them to be there that late. Finds a kill nonetheless. Red Star goes down, and the B push, it's not even on its way yet. They were held aback by the smoke. Now that it's cleared, though, Jerry, he's been having a really good game. Let's see if he can get this double kill here. Up close and personal. Finds the first, but lets his teammate die, and he falls swiftly after. 3 versus 3 now with the bomb getting planted. The CT is not in the best positions of all time to retake this, but at least they'll be attacking from 3 different angles. Flit from Graffiti, one from Heaven, and one on the flank. Certainly an interesting situation as Almazir might just find a free kill here. Yeah, spots out Victor, even hears his footsteps a mile away. As the push continues, Flit from ABC finds his kill. That's only 1 terrorist left, and Bubble, no chance but to go aggressive. Falls and gives the AK to the forZe side as they also take the 12th round. What a round here from the Russians.
On plan,
holding back that initial A take and just getting it done on B.
on plan, plenty of economy for Team Fiend to rebuy into this one. The only question mark would have been Bubble, but Victor can probably drop over a rifle to him if they want to do that. Mar could as well maybe drop a Galil. Let's see what they decide to do here. Maybe a pause is necessary, in fact, in this position. I'm not sure if they're going to take one, though, because it's, yeah, they're just going to go straight into things, and they actually end up with the 5 AKs, is that? My screen's a little fuzzy, but yeah, it looks like 5 AKs, and yeah.
Let's see if they can make use of those 5
Yeah.
AK-47s.
Why hasn't Victor brought utility up? That's the question, though.
Can't answer.
Unless he's already used it all, but that would be unlikely, considering he's leading the charge in towards
Very
short here.
unlikely, yeah.
Now,
Well, Jerry up close has to find him.
Yeah.
Gets a double. Dreamer with an entry, but he knows where Jerry is. And the second one as well toward Monster. Oh my gosh, Dreamer. A triple kill out of nowhere. Finds the entries, and now it's a 2 versus 2 with the bomb being planted swiftly, but that Molotov is going to be delaying things slightly. In the open, though. So the afterplant can certainly be toward Monster or toward Short, and these two CTs, well, they're hoping for a free kill thanks to this boost, but will they be extended far enough into jail? I'm afraid not. The push is going to have to continue. They're going to have to take the fight to the terrorists. As they will push in, water cleared out, and now it's only a question of whether they're Monster or Short. One of them is smoked off, so one of them just has to start defusing while the other covers off.
only
But
10
there's 12
seconds
seconds left. And they have a kit on Almazir. He has to just jump on it right now. This has it in the very last second with Zorte finding the kill. And the defuse comes in after the white light turns on. What a close round here from the Russians. But in classic style, they do get it done. And Jerry, they should be thanking him for getting these initial 2 kills, even though Dreamer just had an absolutely impeccable performance with the entries on him. And
Dreamer's
that
on
one
to
off
32
shot toward the end
kills,
with
by the way.
everything. Oh, wow.
He is 10
He ain't
kills
dreaming.
ahead of anybody else in the server. And that's Jerry right now over on the forZe side. But,
Fiends definitely deserve the win here, don't they? Just morally.
well, Dreamer deserves a win.
Yeah.
Don't know about the rest of them, though, because right now, a couple of them are lagging behind. Mar has had a bit of a mare. He's 11 and 20. Really struggling in this one after a stellar performance on Inferno, but can they tie this one up 13 to 13? It's going down to the wire. A nice boost from Red Star does create a little bit of space, gives them a little bit of confidence to peek around the corner without worrying about an AWP being posted up. But Fiend, all 5 of them going to be creeping forwards here, and how has Sorte not hit that shot? Red Star takes him down. Almazir, he can't find anything either. Victor's just going to run and gun, and he's going to smash the head in, concave the skull, as Flit towards Bank needs to find something. It's an awkward spray, but he gets it in the end. And now Jerry, he's He's trying to try and create flashbangs for his teammate to push forward, but tag down low. Flit, just 12 HP. That nade might just finish him off, and it will. Dreamer not going to stop taking these players, bagging these bodies and tagging them down, as it's now forZe who have to save as their economy is shot to pieces. Zorte and Jerry, the only two players who have anything left. These two saved guns going to allow a pretty decent buy-through. But for Fiend, they can take any of these down. It's going to be huge. Mar not able to do so. Jerry's going to keep himself alive for a little bit longer. Has his teammate for support here, as they might try and salvage that AK-47, but that might be their death if they go for it.
No utility really useful here. They can't really push Monster, and they're just going to have to let the force players save. Ooh, another gunfight happens! Kenzie last second loses his life, oh god. Redstar picks up the kill. And as you said, that one was quite crucial here. A timeout called. Restart previous round? Question mark? They want to be doing that. Very much doubt it. I think there was damage done already. But yeah, no. Definitely a bit of a blunder there toward the end that Zorte, I believe, reaggressed toward T-Spawn. Just inadvisable at the best of times. As Dreamer didn't even have to get any kills in the previous. He did get one, but that was a late kill, and the initial entries just came from the side of Victor and Red Star, I believe. They get it done, so at least it's on Dreamer carrying them in. And those two kills, they sort of just won the round right then and there. They were quite fast toward A. The angle just couldn't get held. And Team Fiend pick up 14th with the 15th on the horizon. And if they get that one, well, forZe, they're not going to have any money to work with in the last. I hope they made all the plans they needed here in this timeout to really show Team Fiend who's the better team around these parts. But I think on today, the better team showed up, and the Bulgarians definitely making a case for themselves. Especially with Dreamer having a game of a lifetime
they're going
here.
for the force buy.
Yeah,
They're
they are.
doing it. They're going all in. forZe, it's do or die for them here. They've got they've got a FAMAS, an M4, a couple Deagles. Jerry, is there a gun on the floor for him? Because right now he's holding a USP. And I sincerely hope there's something on there's nothing on the floor, is there?
Well, there's another USP. He can dual wield USPs, maybe.
Oh god.
Double silence action.
This is horrible.
Agent 47 in here, you know.
This is a horrible situation. This is probably going to be Fiend on to 15. We'll see as it goes. Oh, no, there is an AK. He has an AK.
There you go. Woo, Jerry has a weapon. He's been having a great game so far. Top fragging for his side, of course. So, thankfully, they decide to give the strongest player at the moment the rifle as well. We'll be seeing how Team Fiend gets this round underway, though. Toward long, they'll be aggressing. A player already in the toilets area looking at them has to fall back and call for backup, probably, as this march toward A is not going to be stopping anytime soon. Those connector players, though, they might just pounce as the birthday area presence comes in. Bubble ready for it, spots the head. And the second kill almost gets it done as well. This should be a quick push toward A. They should know that this is not a stack or nothing that any of that sort. They can't really hold them back from the site. A rotate is coming in, but forZe, a must-win round, slips through their fingers. Dreamer with another kill here toward the flank. And Jerry, in a desperation attempt, does he actually just go for it or does he save? Because it should be a save 100% of the time here. The AK too valuable for the next. And what are they even going to be able to buy here for? Is like deagles and armor? Good luck.
Saving this AK is increasingly just a pivotal factor in this fight. What could be a final round here. Fiend one away from closing out this 2-0 over forZe, and the invited team into the playoffs. And Fiend are just looking to absolutely decimate them here in 2. I was not expecting this coming in. Yeah. It's unexpected. Yeah, it's slightly erotic. Yeah, maybe it makes me moist, but still, Fiend, you can't deny, if they win this out now, it's going to be just a well-deserved victory and taking down forZe. I think they're number 15 in the world right now, forZe.
God. Such, like, aggression shown towards short and just nothing to show for it in the end. The flank not even getting it done. The worst possible scenario here for the Russians, as they're 2 rounds behind. the half was basically won, but just falling apart there toward the end. And let's see if the Deagles can find some nice entries, as that seems to be the final lifeline here. No one wants to die first, though, in this kind of a round.
The Eagles
Let's see
could still create something a little bit interesting. Red Star seems to be...
but Red Star's holding him on long, man. If he swings out, maybe he gets a kill, but he gets traded straight after, and that favors the T side tremendously.
Heat comes through. Victor finds the kill. Almost there is
even
no
a trade.
more. And, well, now it's the next player in towards Toilet Jerry. That's the AK gone. This round is done. This is surely going to be Fiend taking this 2-0 and booking their spot in the semi-final. The first team to get themselves into the semi-final, and it'd be against forZe. A huge, huge stepping stone, a huge milestone for this Team Fiend side if they can pull it off. Just 3 more kills required. 3 Deagles to remove from the server. And they certainly look in position to do so. Good flashbang. Oh, Kenzie. I think he was hoping that he could find the head on the plane instead of just tagging them bodies, but it cost him his life. He can find one with a Deagle, but again, he's quickly traded out. Just Zorte alone. He has a kit, a Deagle, some armor, a 1 versus 4 ahead of him. Does he have any hope in this one? Is having a mediocre game, needs to find the absolute round of a lifetime here. Can he get it done? First kill found. Victor hits the deck, spots out a second, but Red Star's up. It's just a little step too far for him. And Fiend, they do secure 16. They do get their spot in the semi-final, and they do take down forZe in 2.
forZe invited to the